Dude, that final shot. This is Disney Plus. When I saw that, that disturbed me.
Yeah, he stood over homeboy. Was like, and it paused for a second. Like I thought he was gonna stop, but it was like, no, Gert, Gert. He was like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
The world was watching, all right. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 4, The World is Watching. And boy, are we watching.
The world is watching.
I can't get enough.
I can't get enough either. I'm joined here with, of course, my other masterminds, Sonus Berryman and William Mikey Collier II. It's been a while, fellas.
Yes.
It's been a hectic year, but nothing can keep us apart.
Nothing.
We will be reviewing episode 4 today. Heavy spoilers. We're going to spoil the shit out of this episode. So if you have not seen the episode, go away now and come back later.
Ryan, we about to spit some stuff out. Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like tons of crazy stuff.
We have a lot to talk about, guys. This episode is full of holy shit moments, which we will get to. More amazing action and fight scenes, great character moments and acting, and most importantly, the powerful social commentary that's more relevant today than ever.
Yeah, so the beginning, like I was shocked as soon as the scene came on. I heard my drums, I heard my Wakanda drums in the background. I was like, episode's gonna be excellent, automatic.
Right, yeah. Yeah, right when you heard the battle drums, you're like, I know where we are.
Oh yeah, like
exactly.
I think it's the ladies. I don't know what they're saying. It's like
It's that drum sound.
It's almost like an air raid bell or something. You hear that? It's like someone's in trouble.
Yeah, and then there's like the waterfall in the back. From the waterfall, you're like, ooh, I know where we are.
That's Wakanda water. It's Wakanda water.
So that was an amazing scene in the beginning. It was really emotional. Just Bucky crying was awesome, and I like the chemistry between him and Ao.
Oh yeah, that was intense. Like I never even thought about that. That's like post-traumatic, like military. What do you call it?
PTSD.
Yeah, PTSD, but like debriefing. There you go. It's like a debriefing, but it was like intense. It was like just him and her, and she's like the baddest one.
And you said, she's the perfect one to do it, because even he's like, it's not gonna work, and she's like, I won't let you hurt nobody.
Exactly. Like I was doing that. Like you ain't getting far.
Yeah.
You're not getting far.
And in his head, he's like
she's doing the countdown. She's like 13:56, and his face, he's like, I'm okay. But his mouth, it's like twitching. Like I felt bad for him. I didn't want somebody you don't have to fear for the Winter Soldier. He can like put it down his sofa and but I was worried. I was like, you fucking you don't fuck with this one. You don't fuck with Wakanda folks. Wakanda folks don't fool around.
Wakanda does not fucking fool around. I like Bucky's story where it's going as well, him dealing with his PTSD in a way and him just trying to redeem himself, but also his struggle with finding his own worth, just like Sam is. He doesn't feel like he's worthy either. Like he told Sam in a previous episode, where if you doubt yourself, then how can Cap be right about me, about my self-worth, right? And Bucky always has some awesome fight scenes, like his knife work.
If you catch a video of it, it's just fun to see him play with it.
Yeah, dude. He was like, his knife. Even at some point, what's his face? John says, "What's up with all the knives?"
What's with all the knives?
That's a callback to Captain America: Winter Soldier, when Winter Soldier was doing all these knife tricks when he was fighting Steve. And I think we just like a good knife fight.
Wakanda style.
Oh, and then did you notice Bucky can speak Wakandan?
That's they're actually speaking an African dialect.
I was wondering that, because when you have the subtitles, it says speaking in Wakandan. So I'm like, did they make up a Wakandan language, or are they actually speaking an African dialect?
It's a real dialect, but it's not called Wakandan.
Right. Interesting. Well, you're right. I think we should research it after this.
I'm gonna go to Barnes and Nobles and what's that one language thing that teaches you how to speak?
Oh, like a Rosetta Stone?
I'm gonna go there and request Wakanda. I'm like, do you have Wakanda?
A Wakandan language Rosetta Stone.
And I bet you the cover would be sick as fucking shit. It shows Panther and shit. Like, learn my language.
Learn Wakandan. Learn Wakandan in 1 week. I like Sam more and more every episode. He's further proving that he was the right choice for the next Cap.
Yeah, through his actions, like, yeah, he doesn't feel like he's worthy enough for it, but his actions like say it all. And that's what
Right.
Captain America thought. Like, he looked direct, like, dude,
Yeah, he's humble. The best part is when Zemo's like, "Would you have taken the serum?" And without hesitation, he's like, "Nope."
Yeah.
And even Zemo respected him. He's like, "Oh, you didn't even think about it."
He's like, that was impressive.
Again, he's showing he's worthy of the mantle of Captain America. Number one, he's a diplomat. Like, he didn't want to go and attack Carly. He wanted to go talk to her, human to human. And you know, he told her, he gave her his condolences over her loss. He told her, "I know what it feels like to lose somebody," to the point where Carly started to trust him, right?
Yeah, she started taking it in, like responding to it for a second. Like, she was like, yeah, maybe what I am doing is not right.
Right. But at the same time, he told her, he's like, "I agree with your fight. I agree with what you're doing. I just don't agree with the way you're doing it."
Exactly.
Yeah.
One thing I couldn't get enough of is the way Sam uses his wings.
Yeah.
He's like very, very careful with them now, the way he's in and out of tight spaces.
Yeah, because that's Sam's powers, his wings, and they have to show him use them in cool ways. And like, there was a scene where he like turns on the repulsion.
The booster punch. I was like, he did a booster punch
in his face.
Yeah, I'm like, a rocket punch. He was like, I was like, tight. Yeah.
I'm like, did that burn?
Rocket punches, jet kicks, and like all that stuff. Like, I couldn't get enough.
He does that one when he goes back. He's like,
he's tight.
Just
dude.
to get over a table.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't have a power, but he's like doing superhuman shit. So like, shoot, he seems to be doing better than the captain and shit, because the captain can't seem to get shit straight.
Dude, one of the funniest lines was when Sam was like, "When my TT passed away," he's like, "Yo, TT." He's like,
dude, that is such a black, like, African American name. You give an auntie TT and Mimi and BB and CC. Like, yeah. Like,
he's like, your TT would be proud.
I knew what a TT was as soon as he said it. As soon as he said it, I was like, oh, I know what a TT is. Yeah, that's just auntie. The TT is a TT.
And then Zemo's like, "Your TT would be proud." Yeah, but Zemo is my favorite one. I'm sorry. Zemo's just pimp. He just sips
to my restroom.
His herbal teas, like,
he knows how things are gonna go and shit. Like,
yeah.
I know. I just thought it was kind of funny. Bucky saw how to get to him. He had to smash his like expensive teapot.
Yeah.
That scared me. He was like, "Get."
He's like,
Turkish delight, like
Turkish delight.
Dude, yeah, that Turkish delight, dude. Oh my god.
He's like, you can't resist.
He got more information just by using the bag of candy and freaking all these people getting shot at and every explosions. He came out with some Turkish delight and got all he needed. Don't trust that.
Zemo's a good shot too.
I love Zemo, dude. He's like, yeah, he's just so smooth and just so cool.
Exactly. He's just always in and out of the situation like, oops.
He's slick. Let's talk about John Walker, man.
He's trying, but he like,
I think that's the best way to describe him. He's trying. He's trying his best.
Yeah, it's like you want to like the guy, but then you don't want to like the guy. It's just a love and hate relationship. Like,
and
no, he was starting to grow on me. I was just thinking, if he didn't lose his restraint, he might have been a decent backup captain.
Right, because I think he is heroic in the end. He's not evil by any means. I think he does want to do good. He does want to represent the shield and the mantle of Captain America the best he can. He's not really about power, really, in the traditional sense. He wants to use power as a means to an end to help people. So he's admirable in many ways. But yeah, you just hate the guy sometimes.
I think he wants to stick to the code. He believes in America, but it's like he's always been the rule follower, but he has like some self-esteem issues in himself that we don't know about.
Yes,
Which
yes,
is
yeah.
It's like the captain of the football team in a small town where everyone is glorifying the captain, and he's like this small town boy, and he's got the whole weight of the town. Like, we depend on you to get us there, Billy. Like, you're gonna get us to the. And he's like, he's still a grown up kid, but he's got the weight of this.
Yep.
Celebrity glorifying above him, and it's a lot of weight. So,
we're talking about how Bucky and Sam are dealing with self-esteem issues, right? And just not being sure of themselves. But John Walker is going through the exact same shit, basically. They all have this weight to carry, and they're all struggling with that weight.
Oh, yeah.
It's not always cool to be like the man, you know what I mean? Because the man's got an image he's going to keep, and, Yeah.
And like you said, I did feel bad for him a couple times because he got his ass handed to him like a lot of times.
Well, no, his problem is he really internalized it. He couldn't shake it off. It was just
he had a pout moment. He was like, "You were even superhuman," pouting like a 4-year-old that doesn't want to leave Chuck E. Cheese. Mom said, "Let's go now." And the kid's like, "I don't want to go yet. I don't want to go." Like, he's just getting more and more pathetic, man. Like more and more pathetic. I'm just like,
but you feel bad for the guy.
That hurt his feelings. You know how you see that kid in school that gets bullied, you just kind of like sit back and look, and you could stop it, but you're enjoying watching it because you never really did like that kid. Or like you're enjoying the abuse and shit. You're like, he deserves it.
And that's what they did. They kind of watched Sam and Bucky just kind of watched him get his ass handed to him by the Dora Milaje. They just kind of stood back. They're like,
yeah, like the old team that's watching the new glorified team come up, and they're like, okay, they don't know yet. Let's let it. Oh, that's sad. That's so sad.
No, it was kind of funny. Sam took a couple of hits too, and he was just like, all right, well, I'm done.
Did you know they could do that?
Yeah.
He tried to warn him. He's like, don't deal with these ones. Like, these are not what you think.
Yeah, he's like, the Dora Milaje? Like, nope.
Yeah, don't mess with him. Don't mess with him.
It's a mistake.
He got punked a few times. I remember Sam at some point, he's like, look, shield or not, the only thing you're running is your mouth. I was like, oh, burn.
Sam is like the new Captain America's guidance counselor, but he's just not listening. He ain't like, he's like, I'm trying to help you. He's trying to like, I've been through what you've been through. Just listen to me. Like the stubborn, like the father and son, like the son is just growing up and he just doesn't want to listen to his dad, and his dad was right the whole fucking time. Like,
Sam is the wise one, really. He's the moral compass of the show. It's Sam. Like he's been through it. Yeah, he's the adult in the room.
No one is listening and shit.
Yeah, no one's listening.
He's like the adult in every room.
Yeah, he even says like, just stand back for 10 minutes, bitch. Like, let me handle this.
He's counseling the villains. He's counseling the adolescent, and he's counseling the next to come up. Like, that's a lot of work, bro.
Hey,
no powers
whatsoever. There was another scene where John got his ass beat. When was it?
Walker got punked when she threw the spear and it got stuck to the table. He was like a little kid that didn't like know how to work a gun. He sat through the whole match trying to like get his hand free. It was so childish. Like, you're this professional fighter and you want to fight, but your hand is stuck. Like, you're tied down. Like, you had timeout. Like, every match he got put in a timeout. It was like
they made a point to humiliate him as many times in this episode as possible, because again, it helped in that snap moment.
Yeah,
he snapped. Well, there was a few times where Bucky punked him. He was just like, "You're not going anywhere, bitch." And he was gonna go in the room. He's like, he just stopped him in his tracks. I think the first time he fought the Flag Smashers, he got his ass beat.
I think about that. Like when Carly caught them in between like the flight of stairs, and she like tackled them into the stairs.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she did that leap. She was like, ah.
I was kind of impressed with how John got good with Cap Shield.
Yeah, he is getting better with Cap Shield.
Everything from wall bouncing to like how he was just kind of bouncing it off of Carly's dude.
Yeah, there was several times where like he would bounce the shield between people. It's like,
yeah.
And then he did a lot of like headshots. Like he hit Zemo on the head. He's like, dang. And then when the guy was running away, Nico, he was like, bang, 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 in his head. I was like, that's a concussion, man. That's not even, you can't walk away from that. Let's talk about Carly. Carly, the face of the Flag Smashers. I like Carly because just like Sam, at some point you're like, she's kind of right, dude. Like, she's trying to get water. She's trying to get supplies.
Yeah, like she makes you supposed to be the bad guy, but she makes you feel for him. Like she makes you see their side. Like
right.
Definitely a good gateway to their view of like, what's right. Like,
Yeah, not just a sympathetic villain, but an empathetic one as well. Like you can see her cause. Like you would want to do the same if you were in the same position. I just think it was relevant because of the idea of like, if the world's open and everybody's just looking for a place to stay and a place, things to eat, that's kind of where Carly's group comes in.
Right. Actually, Carly also has a bunch of great lines. And one of my favorite conversations was between Nico and Carly. And that's where they're talking about the shield. And again, Nico kind of says, well, back in the day, Captain America was a symbol of heroism, and it's someone I looked up to. But Carly, she said, that shield is a symbol of a bygone era. That era of America doesn't even exist anymore, right? It's just a reminder of all the people in history that were left out. And then that makes you think of Isaiah Bradley's Black Captain America. She says the shield should be fucking destroyed, which is something Sam also said last episode.
But she has that simple face. Like she blew a building up, but she had a simple face. They would do the same thing. She's so sweet. She wouldn't hurt a fly. And like this bitch just blew a whole building up. Like even the dude in the driver was like, "What you do?"
and that's how they get you, because you're gung ho for her, and then she blows up a building and then threatens his nephews and his sister, and you're like, this bitch, like she's crossing the line, like Zemo said she would. So Zemo is not wrong in what he says. And that's the thing about Zemo is Zemo's a bad guy, but he spits a lot of true knowledge. A lot of things he says are true. He says Carly's going to get worse and worse, and she got worse and worse. She's getting more violent and more aggressive as time goes by. So Zemo at some point says, that Carly's basically a supremacist. And when you think of supremacists, you think of white supremacists, right? Yeah. But he brought up a good point. In a sense, she is a definition of a supremacist. Yeah,
like she realized it too. That kind of opened my eyes to the word and the meaning of supremacist. Like it was like the word supremacist didn't even have color on it. Like supremacist is like its own, like
right.
Yeah, like it could be a black, white, yellow, green. Like
to me, the show's strongest element is the message and the themes, further exploring the idea of moral ambiguity. It continues to further ask the question: who is truly good and who is truly bad?
Yeah, like everyone's kind of right in their own way, but it's like it all leads to everybody doing something bad.
One man's revolutionary is another man's extremist. Someone who considers themselves a freedom fighter is considered a supremacist in someone else's eyes. One man's hero is another man's terrorist.
Yeah, there's so many lessons in this, dude. You can like break this down like all day. It's crazy.
Yeah, it has a lot of great messages, great themes, and they're exploring so much of it.
It's kind of funny. Sam's sister had probably the second greatest line of the episode when she said, well, America doesn't care about my world.
Right, exactly. She was talking to Carly when she called her to threaten her, basically. And she's like, Sam is working for this horrible Captain America. And then she said, you know what? This America doesn't care about my world. Why should I care about their mascot?
Marvel was writing when they were writing Black Panther and Luke Cage during like the 60s.
Oh,
a lot. They were making a lot of the same points.
You're right. Black Panther, Luke Cage, X-Men were all written around the civil rights era. So you're right. A lot of these themes are carrying over till now.
History repeating itself.
And then with Black Lives Matter happening last year, it's just like it's the perfect timing for the show, I think. Now let's talk about Easter eggs. And it's what we geeks live for. And this episode had a lot of pretty interesting Easter eggs and references. One of the most interesting ones is the title of the episode is called The World is Watching. And that phrase, it was chanted back in 1968 during the Democratic National Convention. And it was when anti-Vietnam demonstrators were beaten and arrested by police. And it was like broadcast on TV. Later, that phrase would be used a lot by activist groups, and it was actually chanted a lot last year during Black Lives Matter in 2020. So that's definitely a great reference for the end of the episode when Walker's just standing there with the shield bloodied and everyone's on their cell phones recording.
Yeah.
So another potential Easter egg is the foreshadowing of the Eternals coming to the MCU later this year. So there's this conversation between Sam and Zemo, and then Zemo compares super soldiers to gods among men. So the Eternals in the Marvel comics they're basically like eternal alien species that have been living with humans the entire time. They were created by the Celestials. So I think that's a reference to that. But more importantly, it's important to note that in the comic books, the Eternals have a lot to do with the origin of mutants. So this could be our first X-Men, sort of X-Men Easter egg in a way.
Something's better than nothing.
Right.
Yeah,
I'll take what I can get. I'll take anything X-Men I can get in the meantime. Yeah. There was another Easter egg. This is something that I found on the internet. I did not see this myself. When Carly messages Sam, she texts him. If you look at the time that she messages him, it happens at 3:12. And that's a reference to Captain America number 312 in the comic books, which is actually the first appearance of the Flag Smasher character. So sneaky Marvel sneaking in those Easter eggs. But I think my favorite reference is the El Chapo reference. Like, that was hilarious to me.
That was funny.
That was the best line. He was like, are you telling me Zemo just El Chapo'd himself?
Escape hatches in his toilet and shit.
Oh, he was like, bye. The Turkish Delight thing is actually an Easter egg to The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I don't know if you remember that, but remember?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's hilarious. I don't know why I didn't make that connection.
Yeah, it's a great Easter egg because the White Witch used the Turkish Delights. By the way, they're the most disgusting candy ever. I don't know have you tried them?
Yeah, no, they'll tear your teeth up. I did have something I wanted to bring up.
Okay,
I was kind of laughing about. Like, they're in Latvia, right? I keep wondering if that's close to Latveria. I was wondering if you were getting.
Oh, because Latveria is where Dr. Doom is from in the comics, right?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's interesting. Maybe Latveria is next to Latvia. I didn't even think of that. That's a potential Easter egg, maybe.
Well, that's what I was kind of hoping. I missed Doom.
We're gonna get Doom. Don't worry, we're getting our Doom. Now let's talk about our top nerdgasmic moments. You know, those scenes or reveals in a comic book movie that make our inner nerd scream and soil their pants. To me, the fight scene between the Dora Milaje and everyone else was just the most nerdgasmic moment of the episode.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like, their presence was like, they were there. They were like, Wakanda is here. Like, shoot,
Yeah.
Respect it. Like, it didn't matter. Like, these are like, they're supposed to be like normal people, but they equal it out, like superhero and just regular humans. Like, it doesn't matter and shit.
But the best part in the Dora Milaje scene was
she did the Tai Chi release point. She was like, "You will not use your arm ever again." Like, she turned it off. It was tight the way it came off. I was like, "That's sick."
Yeah, it was. I was like, yeah.
I didn't see that coming at all.
And the way he looked at her when his arm fell, he was like.
And I like when he put it back on and he rewound it. He's like,
yeah.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Another great moment during that fight. So many great moments within that fight. Another great moment was when they were gonna take the shield home. They're like, technically, this vibranium shield belongs to us. Technically,
you had to use it way better than his ass. She's like, she stomps it and catches it. Like, I was like, oh shit. Like,
yeah, I was like, yes.
And she gave it back to me. She's like, here. I was like, she knows she can take it and get it back if she wants. That's why it didn't bother her.
Exactly. She's like, bitch, I could take this if I wanted to. Yeah, but we got better shit to deal with right now. You can have the shield for
Yeah,
now.
it's like enjoy it for
Even have
now.
superpowers. They don't even have superpowers.
They're not even super soldiers. So another nerdgasmic scene for me was when John takes the vial. Like, I was like, here we go. Here we go. Because, look, we knew he was going to take it, right? We knew eventually he was going to get his powers. So in the comic books, he gets a super soldier serum from the power broker, but he has that power before he becomes Captain America. Here in the MCU, they're changing it a little bit, but here it works a little better narratively because, again, it goes back to what Zemo is saying about how people that want power, people that are inherently supremacists, right? And what he's talking about is being personified in John Walker perfectly. Like, he is
It's
what
like
Zemo's talking about.
We get to see the pride before the fall this time around.
Exactly. All right, let's talk about that. Dude, that final shot, that ending shot, that comic book panel worthy shot. This is Disney Plus. When I saw that disturbed me. And I was like, I hope a kid doesn't turn on Disney Plus thinking they're going to watch a Captain America movie and they get this scene at the final shot.
Yeah, that was like, it's not even rated R, but that was rated R for Disney. Yeah, he stood over homeboy, was like, and it paused for a second. Like, I thought he was going to stop, but it was like, no. Gerd! Gerd! He did it in front of the whole town, the whole damn town.
The world was watching, all right. Yeah, he was like,
and I felt bad for him. He was like, it wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Yeah. Which goes back to that character Nico, because there was a scene beforehand when he was having the conversation with Carly, and he told her, as a kid, I was a Captain America fan. Like, that shield, I still think it's a symbol of good. This is something I look up to. And then ironically, he gets the shit beaten out of him with the shield.
True, like, yeah.
Oh yeah, like his chest caved in. I thought he was gonna lose his head because that's how Steve used to do it when they were fighting all those Ultron like phones. Like he would use it to kind of like
I'm
break
thinking
arms
it was
and
like
they don't really show you how it happened.
They didn't like show you like his chest. I was like, oh, this fool like got him in between the neck and the head. Like, like the one Lamar hit, the chest hit. Like I felt that. Like I knew he was broke when he got hit. He was like, huh. It was like, yeah, she broke him. She did that Superman punch. The whole party stopped. Everybody turned around. That's like at a high school party where like somebody just drank too much and it just fell in the party. And everybody turned around and stopped. Like maybe we should stop. Like
the music stopped. It was like that record skip. Like
it made me gasp. I was like,
yeah.
I was like, his body armor, it did not matter. Like the body armor, nothing.
It was well shot, and because it had to be well done, because you had to see that moment where John snaps. And that was, and it sucks because I liked Lamar. I really did like Lamar. Like he agreed with John, and he had a lot of the same ideals, but he was a little more grounded, and he was kind of like the angel on John's shoulder. You know what I mean? He's the only one that can kind of talk him down.
The final line of good that he had, like if like my sidekick came with me, then that's it.
Yeah.
And for a second, I thought he was going to pull a vial out and pour it in his mouth. Here, Lamar. Nipple vial and shit. It did not happen. I'm like, where the fuck is the vial? Use the vial.
All right. So questions I want to ask. Number one, how do you administer super soldier serum? Like how do you take it? Like, do you drink it? Do you inject it into your blood? Like what?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. We need a picture because the vial looked like a little baby nipple. It had like an ovalness to it,
like a bottle.
Vials, it's like a sharp needle or some kind of like puncturing device. This is like a baby nipple. Like we have not seen how they use. I don't know if you drink this shit or you inject it.
Remember those juice jugs used to get back in the day that looked like a barrel?
Oh yeah.
It kind of makes me think about that a little bit.
What are those called?
Those are the questionable drink.
No, it's I don't even know. It's just juice, but like the plastic was molded like a little bitty barrel.
Yeah. I remember what you're talking about.
They were like on the display, like when you first walk into the liquor store, they were like right in the center of the aisle. They were cheap. You can get like 3 for 75 cents and shit. And they were like sticky when you touched them because somebody like cracked them open on the other side and it spilled over the whole thing and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like you had to open them carefully.
Yeah.
So that's my next question. Do you think John took the serum? And the only reason I ask is because Carly in the past has said that when she took it, she was like in pain. It was burning her. She almost felt like she wanted to die. So was there a scene that we didn't see where John took it and was just, kind of going through it and then he just reappeared, or has he not taken it yet and he will? What do you think?
I am for sure he took it off screen, if nothing else, only because he had too much power envy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, after that scene, it seemed like he was getting like a little bit better with what he was doing, like his moves.
Right.
And
like
shit.
he threw the shield into the wall and he bent that bar.
Yeah. So we don't know if he could already do that. Is that the peak human thing or
right?
I don't think he could do that, but who knows?
And then he jumps out the window and he does like the superhero landing, and you were like, oh shit. So there's another question I do have. How many vials of super soldier serum do you think are left? Because supposedly Zemo crushed them all, right? And then John found supposedly the last one. But do you think there may have been one behind a crate somewhere, one rolled around, or do you think there's no?
There's probably like 1 or 2 out there because he said they made 20.
Yeah, there was 20, right?
Yeah.
So that the 20 is like what, after she gave it to her friends and all that, or is that
yeah, I think so. I think she gave them 12, right? So then that would leave 8 left. So John took 1, and someone in the comments leave how many. I know someone out there counted how many vials were broken.
He was smashing away though. Like I was like, damn, he got all of them. Like I was surprised I saw the last one. I was like, because he was consistent. Like he was on his shit. He was like, I'm not leaving this anywhere.
Another question that we're left with is it's sort of like about the power broker and about Shannon. So it's still up in the air. This episode, it seems less and less that she's the power broker because she is trying to help. And also she did lead them to Nigel, the scientist. So if she was the power broker, why would she lead them to Nigel, which resulted in Nigel's death? But at the same time, she's suspicious to me. Or maybe she's working for the power broker and she fucked up.
Maybe.
That's possible.
Because she also has got like satellite connections and she's just walking around Mandapore like, sup, like.
Yeah, and she has like random limousines like ready for her, like cars picking her up, like with drivers like ready to go. Like,
yeah, for
someone that's like on the run and trying to lay low, like she was pretty comfortable in her domain.
So another theory I have is I hope Lamar is not dead. So I just felt like they were really building him up. They gave him his comic book name, Battlestar. There was one part where he was talking about when he signs autographs for fans, he does a little Battlestar logo. So they're really teasing his comic book character. And then just to off him like that was like, damn, you got to do him like that. So my theory is there was, when John asked him, would you have taken the serum? He's like, hell yeah. Maybe he did give him a serum. Maybe they kind of shared it and he's going to just like come back to life like a zombie. Like,
like
I buy that they'd split it. I can see them splitting it.
No, I can see them like bringing Lamar back just because that death was so random and like so sudden. And him as like a superhero, we haven't really seen him in his like little glory moment. So like I think they're gonna like use this and bring him back somehow.
I hope so. But again, also if they leave him dead, it would make more sense, narratively, because his death is what triggers John's snap, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was our review of episode 4. Thank you guys for being here and watching us as always. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment below if you like what we're doing. Next week, we will review episode 5. This is the penultimate episode, and then that's it. We have 6 episodes and we're done. And we will see you next week.
All right, see ya.
See you, Patriots.
Next time.